cash, yeah, me nigga bagged that up. Made something my nut, now it's toe up. Now I make 100 racks, I'ma pull up. With the step on, with the web on, this crack, fuego, that then blow up, this be gone. This that shit we on. Oh girl, gotta see through strong. That shit turn me on. Caribbean queen bad as hell. Trinity killers from Labattelle. International murderers, they get a flight here, they down for a trill. Wolf, got gifts like fucking Santa. YG's and NSG, IB's and Ultra Banda. Me familiar air carousel. Ain't too many out as real as y'all except for those boys in Haiti. Pull up with the 380. Shotgun, then we scatter on the way to Havana. Probably go to Barbados when I'm like 2 or 3 Rihannas. Know the difference between patience and procrastinating. It's your time, woo. Oh hell yeah, I've been waiting right around with you. Looking out for these snitches, focused on these riches. Got a problem with it, we get mine, we get. Mine, we get. I be riding around with you. Looking out for these snitches, focused on these riches. Got a problem with it, we get it, mine, we get. Mine, we get. We getting it, dividends. Always on the lookout for getting in. Riding with the homies, hitting switches with my roll up that bomb weed in the land of them palm trees. Go holler at some hitters. My game only gets bigger, then we pull up to the light. Keep them jackets in my sight, and my 9 to my right. Turns on the bass up on that takeoff. Roof down, bras off. This out where he balls out. We en route to Modo. Mo obstacles, no hoes. He tell me gon' he love the flow. I take him deep, he love the throw. We out here hitting it. Yeah, that's for sure. We getting it. Now get to. Now get to. Now get to.
Oh, yeah.
Riding around with 2. Looking out for these snitches. Focused on these riches. Got a problem with it, we get it. Mine, we get. Yeah, mine, we get. Woo. I be riding around with 2. Looking out for these snitches. Focused on these riches. Got a problem with it, we get it. Mine, we get. Yeah, mine, we get.
Yo.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. What it good do?
I don't know, but it's definitely sounding like you got like an echo going on.
Uh-oh. All right, hold on.
I think what the deal is that we're doing the Mars broadcast, aren't we? We're doing vertical and we're doing horizontal. So yes.
Okay.
How's everyone doing? Salute to Auntie Leah. Salute to Archangel Michael. How is everyone? Love to you guys as well. It's Jaguar Wright, Wolfgang Amadeus.
And this ain't just set in the West. This is the Jaguar Wright Effect and the Jaguar Wright Show on Rumble. We got the Rumble set up. So if you guys are not hip, I'm gonna put the link for the Rumble because we might just be doing a whole bunch of stuff strictly on Rumble sometimes. I'm not saying, but yeah.
Well, considering that, I got members only content going on age restriction. That was kind of wild.
That was out of nowhere for no reason.
I haven't had a good age restriction in a while though, so maybe it was just time. It's funny because when I go hard and I keep it all the way funky and I keep it all the way real, people tend to have like, I don't know, reactions.
I mean, the truth sometimes is hard to digest, and some people, they can't handle the truth, plain and simple.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just so funny because what I've come to realize is that the truth is only accepted if it doesn't embarrass someone. Like if
it doesn't
people become embarrassed, then it's not the truth. It's a lie because I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't like you saying that about me. So you hurt my feelings. So it's a lie because I said it's not true.
And you got
it's
plenty
really
of
weird.
You got plenty of that going on right now in quote unquote entertainment media, where the truth is out there, but then someone else's truth, maybe it's rubbing them the wrong way. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the thing. The second that people started like saying words like my truth or that's my truth, like I'm trying to figure out what PR agent rep came up with that crap, because it really did just like make it impossible for people to embrace, oh well, that's your truth, that's not mine. Whatever happened to just accepting things for what they are?
The truth.
The truth.
Yeah.
Period.
That's it. There's no my truth,
Go ahead.
Your truth. There's just the truth.
I mean, that's personally how I feel about it, but apparently a lot of people don't. A lot of people just like to cat, and this is where it goes bad for me. I really don't mean nobody no harm. I don't. No matter how vicious my mouth can get at times, this really isn't about meaning anybody any harm. But it's no different than what I had to say about Aubrey O'Day. Now, Aubrey O'Day, do I believe she's a victim? Absolutely. Do I believe she was taken advantage of and mistreated? Absolutely. Do I think she deserves all kinds of justice on so many different levels? Absolutely. But when you start playing with the reality of things, like when I heard her say, I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to see myself in that light. I don't want to know. When you say, I don't want to know what actually happened to me, because, you know, me, that, forget about all of the emails, forget about all of the crazy stuff he sent me, forget about all of the crazy stuff I know he did to other people. He ain't do that to me. I don't care what happens. I don't care what anyone says. Like, that's when we get to insanity, in my opinion. Like, it's kind of insane. It's one thing for a bad situation to happen to you and for you to block it out of your mind and not remember it, and then when it comes back, you know, you're like, oh my God, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, because I know what that feels like. I was assaulted by a family member in my teen years, and my family did not take it seriously. They threw it under the bus. They threw me under the bus with it, and then just went on to pretend like it never happened. And it came back to me in my early 30s, like 15 years later, and tore me to shreds. Tore me to shreds. I was having the nightmares. I could smell things that happened. Like, it was, my PTSD was visceral. It was totally out of control. And from that point forward, Shabbat Shalom, babe. from that point forward, I refused, regardless of what anyone in my family had to say, regardless of what anyone or how uncomfortable it made anyone. I said, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on what I know happened to me. Because the way it came back, it was so grotesque. Like, I mean, I was vomiting. I was experiencing all kinds of stuff. Didn't want to go to sleep at night. It was really bad. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Audrey O'Day, and she's sitting up there, you know. The girl says in the affidavit, you know, she went to one of the guys who managed or was helping manage Danity Kane for Bad Boy, and the guy told her, mind your business, you don't understand the dynamic. And then she says, well, I don't understand the dynamic either. Does this mean that I was, you know, SA'd? I don't want to know that. Why not? Why don't you want to know that? Because if it happened to you, it happened to you. Like, we've just gotten to the point in this country where we're like stuck in this mindset of we don't have to accept what's real if we don't want to anymore. We don't have to accept it. Yeah, no. That happened to everybody else. That didn't happen to me. I'm too strong for that. I'm nobody's victim. I'm nobody's this. I'm nobody's that. That didn't happen to me. And then just the way she said, you know, the manner in which she started becoming, you know, all boisterous about it, and because if I found out that this person was lying, I would have to take them down. Wow. Okay. Got it. You don't want to be a victim. Understood. It's beyond denial.
Someone said she was in so denial about it. See, and the thing is not only is it responsible for her to do herself her own justice by, number one, getting checked out clinically, making sure that they're, you know, hey, maybe there's some diseases that have been contracted or something happened. But when something like that happens to you, I can't speak on it because I know women are different, but I guarantee you there's some psychological trauma, some psychological issues that need to be addressed because of that. So just being true to herself, she should want to get counseling, healing, whatever, psychologically and physically. Like, I don't get it.
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
I mean, I do. I get it completely. I do get it, because I did the same thing when I was a kid, and it came back. Those memories came back. The visions came back. I couldn't get past it.
I mean, you were a kid.
Exactly. I was a kid.
You were a kid. This woman is a grown adult.
I mean, she was still a young woman when this happened to her. She was in her 20s. But I think for her, accepting it probably had a lot to do with how she ended up in that position in the first place. Because a lot of people are not really paying attention to how her intersection into Bad Boy Entertainment began. She said she was going to be going to college to become a lawyer. And her mother said, "You're way too talented. P. Diddy is in town and they're doing auditions and you need to go because you'll make it." See, that's the part. That's the part. I wonder what her relationship with her mom is like. It was her mom who saw the ad in the newspaper. It was her mom who called her and said she needed to audition. I wonder what their relationship is like. Because she was going. She was on her way to law school. That's where she wanted to go. And mommy said, do you know how many parents I know have pushed their kids into show business? So many parents have pushed their kids into show business. Some of them know exactly what it's all about. Some of them don't. And when they find out, they don't care. Because they're like, okay, well, this happened. This is what happened, but we're here, and this is what it is. Like, you'd be surprised how many parents, I can honestly tell you, hear about their children having bad things happen to them in the industry, and the first thing they're looking for is a settlement. First thing they're looking for is a settlement. It's funny because apparently now, Brother Bilal Salam is speaking up.
Wait. Before you move on to that, because that's very important, and we definitely got to talk about Brother Bilal. I just wanted to say it's funny that you were just talking about Audrey O'Day, and apparently she's in the ER right now. They had a who was it? Danny D. Kane. That was her. Yeah. So right here on Wilshire, at the El Rey Theater, where I first saw Kanye. Shout out to and Consequence, all them cats. Rhyme Fest, dope ass. I remember that back day. El Rey Theater is the Danny D. Kane reunion concert, and she missed it yesterday. So come to find out, she said, they said that she's in the ER. She's been extremely sick. Wow. I was like, it's funny. We were just talking about that. But yeah, they said she was hospitalized after falling ill. And it would force her to miss the Danny D. Kane reunion concert. This was according to E! News, E! Online. And they had reunited for the first time since 2020. So... yeah, she put this on her Instagram. I've become extremely sick, physically can't make tonight's show as I'm in the ER. I've been fighting all day, spinning around in my head, trying to find ways to make this work. But being sick is being sick. It's completely out of her control. See, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, there could be some reoccurring trauma that, since now, this documentary's out, people are talking about her and her reading over the affidavit, and there could be a lot of things that have triggered.
I hope she don't got pneumonia.
But I hope not either. And they have a reunion tour, which it started in December 9th in San Francisco. Then they have other shows today. And on the 13th, I guess today was supposed to have been in Uncansville, Connecticut. But yeah, she's
interesting how they got a reunion tour set up to pop right after the documentary hit.
Yeah, and these tours
were scheduled.
Are not. They're not just out of, we're gonna do this 2 weeks, 1 week. No, you're 6-9 months out.
I mean, not necessarily. It could come as easy as 90 days.
Oh yeah.
All depending on the size of the venue and what the promo was looking like. But like I said, I thought it was very interesting. The way the announcement came for the documentary, and then just looking at a lot of the other things that are happening around it. So yeah, got to keep her in prayer. But it's at the end of the day, I'm just looking, all right, her and the diddler. And now, after all of these years, because it's been 2 years since I spoke with Bilal, and then he ended up sitting with Tasha K rather than sitting with me. And he didn't talk about none of the stuff that he and I talked about. He talked about a bunch of other weirdo stuff. But now all of a sudden, a couple years later, now he wants to talk about the offenses against the children.
Why do you think the change of heart?
For the same reason of what I said. Don't nobody care about Will Smith having a same-sex affair with Dwayne Martin. Nobody cared about that.
And wasn't it kind of just like an open secret type of situation? I mean,
everybody had been talking about it for years. Tisha Campbell had came out and alluded to it for years. I mean, it's like everybody knows. But the biggest issue that I had was the fact that in 2022, a real life interview that I had came out. And it's so funny because people keep liking to make it all about, all she ever did was talk about Diddy and whoopie. No, I talked about his influence and how everybody was operating under that influence. I spoke about how Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union were hosting these parties at the house with young boys and older men. I talked about, and this was before Zaya came full out as a girl. Like I talked about all of these things, about the stuff that was going on in Hollywood as a whole. I spoke about everybody. It wasn't just one celebrity. It wasn't just two celebrities. I was talking about the network. Now the network of taking advantage of children has gotten way too far. And guess what? Everybody got quiet. Didn't nobody want to say nothing. And then the next thing you know, everyone wants to make me crazy. Next thing you know, I'm being hunted down by a bunch of weirdo bloggers that I called the Troll Farm, which now have a new name. But what I find so interesting is that he actually started speaking up about Brashear. And Brashear being essayed by Will Smith and by Diddy. That's wild. I think some people have heard me play a voice clip of him saying that man has done things to his own son that he should be in jail for. I wonder if he's gonna get further off into that. I just think it's weird that he had to go back into hiding. His book ended up not coming out and tanking, and now all of a sudden that he's suing for the money that he was hoping to make off of that book. Now all of a sudden he wants to sit back down and do more interviews about the harm. And it's just like, it's just insane. It's insane. None of these people care. They don't care. They care about themselves. They care about how they can monetize somebody else's pain and monetize somebody else's grief. So from that respect, I can understand why a lot of people are afraid to come forward and share their stories, because what happens is as your story comes out, people talk about it. The cover-up machine gets to covering up. No real justice is implemented, and then you're just left out there with that on you. And I get it. I mean, I've spoken about it for years. This is why the Diddy trial and the way that trial went is the exact reason why people do not want to come forward, why people do not want to share their stories. It's the reason why you got Aubrey O'Day sitting there in that documentary saying, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that happened to me. And if it's a lie, like, okay. And I got that too.
Yeah.
What if it is a lie? You don't want, like, why is this common knowledge for everyone? And we also have to look at the part that the media plays, especially social media now, because what it's looking like is that social media has become so influential. And you know, let's just see. We're going to get closer to the actual topic of, you know, what this live is about. But how funny was it to hear Erica Kirk complaining about Candy Owens and how everything that she's doing could be infecting the jury pool for her for the trial, you know, for the unaliving of her husband. Like, to hear her say that, to hear her talk about how she needs people to stop doing what they're doing because what they're doing could infect the jury pool. That's what she just said recently, which means she understands the power of social media.
Yeah.
Because it's not the news that's saying these things. It's all the stuff that's coming from the social media space. Hence, now we got this new terminology. New media.
And let me say this. I think the reason, and when we're gonna get deeper into this term and this new media, it's because, like you said, mainstream media, a lot of people just don't trust it. They no longer trust it. So you got a lot more content creators that are trustworthy. So this term new media is what's being put out to the public right now, but it's still going to be, in my opinion, controlled. Like, they already pretty much got the people to fall in line with, you know, a certain narrative on certain aspects, certain points. Like, you know, I know we're going to get into the new media characters, these creators who are covering what and they're not covering. There's certain things that they're allowed to talk about, and there's certain things they do talk about. But yeah, new media is just a term, but a lot of people just not trust. They don't trust traditional media any longer. Am I saying anything incorrect?
No, you're not saying anything incorrect. The problem is 2/3 of social media or new media, you can't trust that either because they're working with traditional media. Yeah. And I think we're going to highlight that today, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, what's the purpose in believing in this new media crap when new media is nothing but another arm of traditional media?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy. It really is kind of crazy. Looking at how these people. Welcome.
You got to sign. Thank you for becoming a member.
No, you can't beat the industry if you're still a part of the industry. I would have to agree with that, Michael. I would have to agree with that. So, something that we stumbled upon in real time, and we were watching it and we were looking at it. And the thing is I think we already knew. We had already said we planned on having eyes there or planned on being there in some way because we just wanted to see how things were operating there at the trial. And man, It was a shit show.
That's putting it nice. That's putting it nicely.
But to be able to sit there and see the way it was orchestrated and the way they were doing it. And it's so funny because when TMZ kept trying to get sound bites from us and I kept declining, they sent an emissary, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you take over for a second and give us your POV on how that whole situation went?
Well, we're not gonna play or put too much. How do I kill the audio? I'm trying to kill this audio.
Don't film me, please. This is off record.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
Damn it. Okay. Well, let me see if I can do this real quick. The person, and you guys can see who we have in these in the actual thumbnail. These are some of the people that we're talking about. In fact, the guy, of course, that's Armon to the, was that my right?
Mm-hmm.
Guy next to him, I don't know what to call. I forgot who the guy was, but the bodyguards had to, they had to come snatch him up, low key, right? I mean, he came through like tripping. I mean, that whole day was wild though, but
the second that I refused to speak with TMZ while we were there at the courthouse, next thing you know, this guy came and he came with his recorder, and I looked at you and I was like, they sent him. I know they sent him.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he couldn't get what he wanted, that's when he started trying to stage a whole uproar.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing we had security there, because security had to deal with him. And I tell you, when he started acting a fool and talking about, I'm coming back, I'll be back, hey Jaguar, all that hollering and screaming and acting crazy, it was really insane.
Yeah, that happened. I mean, you were sitting with a bunch of, I would say, traditional media. You had print media, you had overseas traditional media, but then this person, I'm just gonna play the clip because
by the way, that girl that we were talking to, the one who was interviewing us while we were sitting there, she has connections to the troll farm.
Wait, which one? The you talking about this one?
Don't film me, please. This is off record.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
You talking about her?
No, I'm talking about the other girl, the BBC girl.
Oh, you know what? I had that footage. Do you want me to play it? Wait, what? She had connections to who? Okay, you got to put that in the back, because I didn't even know that. Well,
recently saw her not that long ago, consorting on a live stream with a member of what we used to call the troll farm. That whole thing was a op. That whole situation.
I mean, should I put her on the Summer Jam screen? You want me to? I got the footage.
It was an op. That's why dude came back to create that whole thing. And while me and her are sitting there, she kept looking, and she wasn't just looking at him. She was looking around. She was like, man, I need to have security when I come out, because the security was on it so tough.
Oh yeah, they snatched him up with the quickness.
But when she was sitting there and we would, and then she was like, you know what, we can cut it short. And I'm like, well, if you want to, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, that whole thing was an op. They had us sitting with her questioning me. They were getting, because I wasn't giving TMZ no play. And let's just be honest, TMZ pretty much ran the show outside that courthouse.
Yeah,
Inside the
that's
courthouse, TMZ was running the show.
well, that's what it looked like. Well, let me give y'all a little bit of context, because when the footage that I just played, this was after you sat with the BBC reporter, and before that, the young lady that said, "Don't film me," she is the black face of, well, I ain't gonna say the black face. She works with TMZ. Let's just say it like that. Thank you, Lady Nicole, for being a member, and yeah, we appreciate that. She works for TMZ, so she has some information that she wanted to say, and that's why she said what she said. Hey, don't film, blah blah blah, woo woo. But before that, who did she approach? I forget who she approached.
Number one, she told our cameraman not to film her. She didn't say anything to us.
Oh, she was talking. Yeah, no, she was talking to. Yeah.
She told our cameraman not to film her. Whatever I got on our personal cam, oh, that's fair game.
And we got the audio too, but that's that. We'll do that for members. But no, before this though, she did say, "Hey, Jaguar Wright, does she have anything that she wants to, she want to say anything? I'm from TMZ, blah blah blah." It was another girl. It wasn't her. It was her, but it was another girl. And we said, "Nah." Well, you said, "Nah," and I was like, I think they tried to say, "Well, why?" And I was like, "Nah, there's some other stuff going on behind the scenes. It's really too complicated to even speak on." But she does not want to give no sound bites, nothing to TMZ
at all. And they kept sending people.
Yeah.
They kept sending people. They were determined to grab something, and I refused to give them anything. That's why they sent this little black girl here with the Candace Owens perm.
Not the Candace Owens. Not the Bayang.
To try to find a way to talk me into having a conversation with them. And my response to her at the end was simple. No, thank you. No, thank you. And then not long after that, the little BBC girl shows up. And while we're sitting there talking, next thing you know, here comes this guy to create that public a nuisance after he had been trying to jump in our face. Like, I lied to you not, guys. TMZ spent so much time coordinating everything. Like, she was even sitting there yelling at bloggers for not getting, he's sitting there and he's complaining and he don't know, he don't understand where we are. He's supposed to be worried about getting a viral shot. Like, shouldn't nobody be asking about whether or not they're gonna be able to get into the courtroom? You better be ready to grab a viral moment wherever it's at. Like, she was sitting there talking like she was a whole coach on a little league team.
She was quarterbacking it. That's what she was doing.
And they were doing that the entire time. So when I saw this one, Make It Make Sense, Armon, Wiggins, and a few other content creators all at dinner together, calling themselves New Black Media, I'm sitting there looking like, oh, okay. Oh, I see what's going on. I see what's going on completely. Like, it was really, 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 really interesting. But I just want to pull something up right quick.
Go ahead.
You can keep on talking though.
Well, there's nothing for me to say.
Yeah, there's plenty to be said. You a mess.
Yeah, there's always been digital media since Even when I was on red carpets, when I was doing my thing with BT. Now I didn't work for BT. I was, working for print media, and the print media would take what I put on their socials. Mm-hmm. So this is 20. I can remember, like I said, 2011, 2010, 2012. Y'all know, I told y'all the story already about the red carpet stuff. I'll just say it like that. But there's always been like this digital media. Now they're branding new media, and the reason why they're branding it new media is because you have pivotal points in history where, let's just say, for instance, if you're old enough, you remember the OJ trial. I don't think there was ever a televised trial that went on like that up until that time. I mean, from then on, there's, but that like people remember, oh damn, the OJ trial. So when it
was television, it was pure theater.
Oh yeah. It was a Othello. I mean, it was all that. It was a Greek play. It was all that. But I say now we have a pivotal point now where we could be like, oh, okay, enters new media. New media. They started talking this new media term when Milagro Gramz was sued by Meg the Stallion, right? Academics would be considered new media. New media, essentially, if you want to just break down the definition, pretty much what new media is, it's more to it than just like digital, content creators and new journalists. It's more to it. And the way I could really say, because it's like got traditional media, you got print media, we have the media, meaning the people that work at TV stations, TV networks, radio stations, magazines, major news outlets. So new media pretty much are live streamers, digital journalists, independent commentators, social media influencers, live streamers for TikTok creators, podcasters, YouTubers, Citizen. Remember, y'all know the Citizen app? That's new media. The Citizen app. If you guys have a major city, or if you're familiar with Citizen, Citizen Reporter, Citizen app. So new media is like an ecosystem of independent media voices. A lot of them sit on digital platforms. They're online creators who have replaced traditional broadcasters for their primary source of news, for their primary source of entertainment, for their primary source of commentary. Also for their cultural influence. So new media don't need corporate approval. It doesn't follow the old school rules of journalism. It isn't limited by the FCC rule. It can speak freely. It can react instantly. It can build an audience on their personality alone. People like Armon, Wiggins, Milagro Gramz, you got No Jumper, Real Life, academics, even Auntie Shay Shay. I mean, no, I wouldn't say Auntie Shay Shay is new media. But new media is essentially these people that are digital journalists, streamers, social media influencers who have a direct to audience connection, direct to audience distribution. So Milagro being sued is like that pivotal moment that everybody could go back and say, oh, here's that term, new media. The problem with not being backed by corporations, and you don't need corporal approval, is liability, because somebody could say anything. We talked about the situation with Tasha K putting out the situation about Ja Rule, which we'll talk about that more in depth Well, we already talked about it, but we're going to talk about the implications of what happened. And she's saying this happened, and I got the source, and well, who's to say that that source is correct? And you got the person, Ja Rule, who comes out and is like, I ain't got a scratch on me. What are y'all talking about? So that's the issue with the new media. Is you can't really trust it. People really don't trust traditional media. I understand that, but this new media, their goal is to be first and not right. It's about monetization. It's about the viral potential. It's about their personal brand.
It's not even just about first. It's about being first, about being loudest, and having the most people to share. Like, it's about their networks and how they infect the information pools. Because if we look at the whole Ja Rule situation, everyone can say that the point of contact for that story started with Tasha K. It started there. That's a problem. Because this is someone who everyone knows is a proven liar and lies consistently and repeatedly over and over and over again. So let's just be very clear about that. If you are truly a real journalist, if what you are truly trying to do is spread the news and spread the word and this, that, and the third, if you hear, oh, Ja Rule got beat down at a restaurant in New York, and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, and yada, 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 and so and so forth. And then you go and look for it. And well, who came up with that story? Well, Tasha K said. The first thing I'm going to do is, Tasha K said it. Okay, let me go and check. Let me go and see if there's any police reports. Let me go and see if there's any of this. Let me go and see if there's any of that. Let me go check. But that's not what happened. You had about 25 different content creators that ran with that story, and a good share of them embellished. And we shared that as well, because we went and read the transcripts off of one of those channels where he had EMS there, he had police there, he had fire and rescue there. Ja Rule was rushed to the hospital. He got be there overnight observation.
What kills me is he got assaulted on a street or an alley. It was like, wait, which one is it? Like, there's a clear difference. But in the video we saw, it looked like it was on the
what
stage.
What he said was that he was attacked in front of the restaurant, but the assailants either came from the street or from the alleyway.
Oh, okay. But still, I saw footage of a situation, an incident on a stage, not in the street. But carry on.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, completely different. But there were a bunch of content creators that jumped on that story. And this is what this new media machine does. Somebody takes a story, sends the story out to a bunch of content creators, and the content creators from there, they develop their stories. And guess what? You can go and you can check and you can look. None of them are the same. All of them have slightly different details. These people are sitting here running remixes and doing all kinds of shit. Now, if that's what you got going on, and you have that going on, and it all stems from a lie to begin with, this is more dangerous than mainstream media. This is more dangerous than traditional media. It's definitely like playing telephone, but it's worse. It's worse because if it started with a lie, the intention was to confuse the public.
Yeah.
And then guess what? For all of that wrong information, then people get to come back. And now they get to make more content about what actually happened. And guess what? All of the accounts of that weren't real either. So, the question is what are we doing?
Well,
what are we doing? What are we doing? And what is this new media thing really all about? Because I can tell you this right now. To hear Diddy say, actually, you know what? Let me just
Well, while you're looking, I essentially was just going to go into the social political.
Oh no, I was just going to pull up the audio that I have. Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
Can you hear it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's working. I listened. Superb client, as you said. Jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop. We're losing some of the big picture. It's the middle of September. It's so long back. No, you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, huh? Because you may just be the person that just does. You just may watch CNN. You know what I'm saying? And there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them is on Instagram and TikTok. And so you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking. We have to find somebody that will work with us, whether they're from this country or from another country. It could be somebody that in the dirtiest dirty business of media and propaganda.
And boom, right there is where we could even point to, because in the documentary, when they were playing that audio, it was 5 days before his arrest, which happened September 2024. I swear to God, within a month, well, actually within 2 weeks, there was the Piers Morgan, and then a couple of days or a week or so after that. So within 3 weeks, Sean Atwood reached out to you. But let me not kick the chair. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Why not? You're doing great. Keep going.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Listen to what Diddy said. Y'all.
Let's play it one more time.
Go ahead. Let's run it back.
The jury have a chance.
By the way, because it comes in pretty sharp, he said, if I'm going to be sitting in front of a jury, I need to have a chance. Let's take that from the top. Pause. Let's listen to that. Let's just deal with that. If I'm going to be sitting in front of a jury, I need to have a chance. Then his lawyer says, we need the narrative to be that you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong on any front. This is a lawyer talking to his client who got raided on three different properties on the same day by HIS, like 6 months before. He's not talking about I'm worried about whether or not I'm going to be able to prove my innocence. I'm worried about, whether or not, we'll have enough, to debunk whatever evidence they're saying. No, they're not talking about that. See, it's okay for a lawyer and a client to discuss a line of defense. They're not talking about a line of defense. They're talking about juries, and they're talking about you're not wrong at all. We need the narrative to be you're not wrong about on any point. So I wanted to put that into context.
Okay, Jack. From here moving forward, you got to just send me that audio. I got to do you like I do my radio clients because
Do you want me to email it to you now?
well, yeah, you can, and then I can fix it or whatever. Yeah,
I'll just email it to you now.
Yeah, and then I can upload it, and then we can just share it that way. But sorry, y'all. I my thing is, I'm with the whole. Hey, let's let everybody hear what it is. Yeah, because you see, people saying they couldn't hear it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hear it. No, that's why I'm gonna clean it up. It was sounding cool at first, and then I had to take down the music. But no, we'll get it. We can hear it. Like I had in the beginning, we getting it. We getting it. We getting it. But I'll just say this because I'm waiting on the audio to come through. You have a clip here. Did you want to add it to the stage or?
No, because essentially it's a short with this audio that I had, so there's no need to do that because I just sent you the audio. You should have the email now.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. What is this? All right. Let me download it and then I have to convert it.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to see if I can. So if I read it to you, he continues to say, if I'm sitting in front of a jury, I need to have a chance. I need to be able to be sitting in front of a jury and have a chance. And so I have this emergency call because something has to give. We need, now this is so wild because this is Mark Agnifilo speaking. We need the theme to be the theme. We need the theme to be, you didn't do anything wrong. Which is kind of wild that's the theme. Because that's not saying that you didn't do anything wrong. That's saying that that's what we want people to believe. If he didn't do anything wrong, it doesn't need to be a theme. You see what I'm saying? Like, you really got to listen to the language that people use when they talk. You know, you didn't do anything wrong on any front. You've come to New York to face things head on. Any attention, what is it? See these transcripts. They don't always read it out the right way, but it says any attention. If anyone has paid any attention to what you've actually been doing, you've handled this with complete honor. I don't think it's working, Diddy says. Listen, I've been a superb client. As you said, I jumped on a plane, came to New York, but I'm just like running around waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're losing sight of the bigger picture, man. This is the lawyer talking. It's the middle of September, and there's still not an indictment. You don't have a spokesperson. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that. Mark, this is the argument. Because you just may be a person that just watches CNN. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's 9 billion people in the world and 7 billion of them is on Instagram and TikTok. Like,
all right, here we go.
The jury
wow.
have
Yeah, no,
changed.
but this last
And so I'm having this emergency call because something has to give. We need the core theme to be, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong on any front. And you've come to New York to face things head on. If anyone was ever paying any attention to what you've actually been doing, you've handled this with complete honor. I don't think it's working. I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop. We're losing sight of the big picture, man. It's the middle of September and there's still no indictment. Then you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, Mark. Because you may just be a person that you just may watch CNN. You know what I'm saying? And there's 9 billion people in the world. And 7 billion of them is on Instagram and TikTok. And so you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking. We have to find somebody that'll work with us, whether they're from this country or from another country. It could be somebody that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business of media and propaganda.
Boom. That sound better, right?
mm-hmm.
So y'all
Media
heard that.
and propaganda.
Yeah.
We need somebody that's dealing that's dealing with the dirtiest of dirty. So then when I think of everything that happened, from those phone calls that nobody knew existed and nobody knew had been recorded, leading up to the verdict, I want people to really think about what that looks like. I want people to think about all of the things that happened after he was arrested. The Piers Morgan interview happened, where they tried to have Vlad come and label me as not credible and a liar. Then that was where they had interjected Ariel Mitchell, who apparently is now friends with Denot Ricketts, who's an absolute psychopath. But they're all hanging out together in courtrooms together. I want y'all to think about this. Sean Atwood comes into the conversation, and then the next thing you know, you have people like Make It Make Sense, Armon Wiggins, like all of these people are running on the Adria English train, because don't forget, she came forward as the girl in the black dress, and then she introduced who was supposed to be the girl in the D&G shirt sitting on Diddy's lap, who is in all actuality Lamisha Fuller, who has had a YouTube channel on YouTube for damn near 10 years, trying to become some hood rapper chick, posing to be Anna Kane. You got Lionel B running it. Like it's I want y'all to think about all of this. Meanwhile, they're lying, they're telling the truth. They're lying, they're telling the truth. And then taking real whistleblowers and real victims like Natanya Rubin and intersecting them and converging them with us to try to find a way to cast more doubt and more aspersions. Those videos with Adria, those videos with Lamisha, those videos with Courtney Burgess, all of those videos, they got tens of millions of views altogether. How many people in the jury pool saw those videos?
Ain't no telling. Like Jack told Helen.
How many people in the jury pool? We need to know how people in the jury, the potential jurors, could be thinking. That's what he said.
That was cold. That was a cold word for something, y'all.
Play that recording again, because I really want people to understand what they heard, because it's easy to listen to these things and to just take it at face value, but you really have to just jog your memory and look at all that happened after that.
Of a jury and have a chance. And so having this emergency call because something has to give.
We need the core theme to be, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong on any front. And you've come to New York to face things head on. If anyone's ever paying any attention to what you've actually been doing, you've handled this with complete honor.
I don't think it's working. I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on a plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop.
We're losing sight of the big picture, man. It's the middle of September and there's still no indictment.
Then you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, Mark. Because you may just be a person that you just may watch CNN. You know what I'm saying? And there's 9 billion people in the world.
Pierce Morgan.
And 7 billion of them is on Instagram and TikTok. And so you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking. We have to find somebody that'll work with us, whether they're from this country or from another country. It could be somebody that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business of media and propaganda.
Sean Atwood ran heavy conversations, pushed a lot of crap, pushed it over the edge, and then deleted all of the content as soon as he got paid.
Yeah. Sean Atwood has a platform of and let me not pocket watch, but I'm on pocket watch. Well, first off, if you guys don't know, and there's a lot of people who've been around here, since the inception of this channel, even once before, because we had one before, it got erroneously taken away, and we was able to pick it right back up and keep it moving, and we've been going strong ever since. Over 100K within a year. Sean Atwood came. He has 1 million subscribers. I think at the time maybe he had a little bit less. I don't think he had a million just yet.
He was just under 1 million.
He was under 1 million. You're right. He was sitting under 1 million for a minute, and then he would host you. It started with him, and his crew love bombing and just talking to you about what you've been through and what you've seen and this and that. But they've already had a play working in the background, because all of a sudden, I think the first person that they had you interact with was Courtney Burgess, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
After Courtney Burgess was
Ariel Mitchell. After Ariel Mitchell, then we had the plethora of fake. I'm not gonna say Adria's fake, but Diddy victims. I'll say she's fake because she's working for him.
Well, yeah, you got a point. She actually had a marijuana strand called She Diddy. Then yeah, you're kind of promoting his brand still.
No, her Cash App and her street handle is She Diddy. The name of her weed was Freak Off and No Diddy.
Oh, no Diddy. Okay. All right. Well, overall, they've already
That her and
had.
Courtney Burgess were pushing together.
Well, I'll say this from my perspective, it looks like they've already had a play. They've already were setting up a play with you and having you engage with these so-called quote unquote survivors, and then these people are, oh, I met you, I saw you, I saw Jaguar back in whoop whoop, you picked me up, and it, like it's borderline erotomaniac or erotomaniaism or whatever you want to call. Borderline erotomania. For those who don't know what erotomania is, it's a psychological disorder where the subject, the person, has to be tied to a celebrity or someone of higher status. And sometimes they make up these, stories of, oh, we were lovers, or, so that's what happened with not Adria, what's her name? Lamisha. Yeah. She swore up and down. Yeah, Jack, you picked me up in some year, 2012, I forget what year.
2012, she said. 2012,
in a city that you wasn't living in that city, but she swore up and down that you had picked her up, you were doing Lyft and this and that, and you're like, no, I wasn't in that city. I never met you. I don't know who you are. And one of Sean Atwood's co-hosts, Ron questioned you and said, oh, are you sure? Are you sure you don't know who this person is? It's like, yeah, she's sure. She can recall. She knows what it is.
The question is, what if I was the kind of person that had a bad memory? What if I was the kind of person that could be easily suggestible, where they could have suggested me into saying, well, maybe, possibly. Diddy might have got off completely.
They tainted, and they
tainted the jury pool.
This was October 2024, November 2024, December 2024, January 2024, even I think up to about February.
January
2025. January 2025, February 2025. Sean Atwood,
for 5 months, he
was doing his thing,
and he was working in tandem with American content creators as well. They were piggybacking this. Tasha K and her community of people that now like to call themselves new media, and the Atwood crew over there. And I mean, Ron used to sit there and brag all the time about how they were cyber stalkers and how they knew how to, hack into people's stuff and do all kinds of things. And yeah.
Now let me pull my shoulder out a little bit.
Well, by the way, just for that comment, it's not that he thinks he's smarter than his attorney. It's just he's gotten away with being charged for a crime and never having to see the inside of a jail for it on numerous occasions. That's why he sounded the way he sounded. Not because he thinks that he's smarter, but just because he has more experience with getting away with, red rum.
Yeah. So, let me just pull my shoulder out a little bit, because Diddy, I made a connection to. Let me pivot from Diddy to Jay-Z. I made a connection to Ariel Mitchell to Jay-Z via Jay-Z's artist, J. Cole. You guys can do the research. J. Cole and Ariel Mitchell went to school together. In fact, they were at the school around the same time, and they were at a particular club, like, one of these clubs you have on campus where, meetups and stuff like that. They were in the same club. J. Cole was the president. She was a member. So I made that connection. Now I'm going to just pull my arm out, though, because she's a character in this whole travesty that we call the new media circus. Now, let me just say this. Sean Atwood, if for those who don't know, he was in a documentary called "I Was a Teenage Felon, Ecstasy Kingpin," and he, back in the early '90s, was pushing a whole bunch of E in LA and in Arizona. Now we already know.
You're not talking about the one with Sammy the Bull. He was in another documentary.
Yeah, this was one from Vice before the Sammy the Bull.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this was in before Sammy the Bull. So he was featured in a documentary. Let me just say this real quick. He was featured in a documentary. Everybody knows that he was pushing E in LA and in Arizona. Heavy. He was a kingpin. I wouldn't put it past him having some connections to Mr. Combs, because we've already said, Puff has some connections to some Crip gangs out here in LA in the early 90s.
Not only that, the MDMA that they found on him, when you talk about people dealing with weight and the kind of stuff that he had going on, I'm sure it wouldn't have been too hard. Like even him crossing paths with Sammy the Bull and the way that whole thing happened, and then the next thing you know, Sammy the Bull's channel was blowing up here on YouTube, and like there's a lot of interesting stuff that's been going on. A lot.
Well, I guess you cut me off because maybe you didn't want me to
no, go ahead.
What I was saying, because I was just gonna I'm done, because I was gonna just tie in the possibility. No, that's what I'm doing. I'm just tying in the possibility of maybe Atwood had some connections to Bad Boy Diddy because of the LAE distribution and the thing with the Arizona thing and all that. And then, Sammy the Bull's connection. So if you guys don't know, Sammy the Bull was a underboss for the Gambino crime family. And there were some connections to the Colombo crime family through Atwood. So that's a whole can of worms, but I don't want to go down that route. I'm just saying, well, you had a connection to LA because Atwood is from England, but then he came to United States, and he was attempting to invest in the British telecommunications company, and he was working. He was doing stocks. He was doing his thing. He was doing like marketing, trading stocks. And he started that early in age, at 14. So when he was 16, he actually has he's working with a company that Margaret Thatcher. That's what I'm like. It's heavy, y'all. I'm throwing this out there simply because I'm like, well, maybe he was working with Diddy the whole time. Maybe he ended up having some type of deal. I don't know, but long story short, he did his things with the e-pills for years, and he got caught up in 2002, 2003, and he did 9 years. 9.5 years. No, they sentenced him 9.5 years. I think he ended up doing 6. And he's no longer allowed to come to the United States, though. But ain't no telling. Hey, what he can still do some dirty work. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know.
The internet makes it possible for anybody to be an international villain easily. That's what the internet does. It makes the world smaller. That's what it does. But what I find interesting is Diddy was literally putting in a request. Propaganda agents. The dirtiest of dirty in media. Propaganda. Whether it's this country or another country. It's kind of sad. So this whole new media thing, it's just media with less responsibility and less accountability. And it really is all predicated upon how people like someone, because that's really what happens. You bump into a content creator, you like the sound of their voice, you like the way they say something, you like the way they do this, you like the way they do that, and then you become locked in with them. You become, comfortable with them. They become a part of your everyday, the sound of their voice, and you become a fan. You want to see them win, and when they give you something and when they bring you something, you want to believe that they're telling you the truth. You want to believe them, even when they give you no reason to. And even if you don't believe them, you just like the way they say things. You know what I mean? So it's a lot more dangerous when you look at this side of it, because they're not real media, they're not held to any kind of real standard. There's no real responsibility. And that's wild. That's wild. Because those voices are loud out there. Now, I just want to be clear on how many trials new media has been participating in and doing commentary on this year, because it wasn't just the Diddy trial. They were working the ASAP Rocky trial. They were working the Megan Thee Stallion trial. They've been busy this year. And all of them have been at each of the trials. I remember when they were working the Tory Lanez trial, and I knew it. I knew they were there screwing that trial up. I knew they were there screwing that case up. And I knew that the orders were, he's got to be guilty. One of the YouTubers was actually pulled into chambers for talking to one of the jurors. So that just goes to show you, they've been busy this year. I wonder how many trials new media has affected in the past 5 years. I wonder. What do you think?
A lot. A lot.
It's we got to be careful, man. You got these people, they're calling police stations, they're calling courthouses, they're going over court dockets, they got Pacer accounts, they're stalking things. I'm just curious. I wonder how much money was kicked out for that coverage of the Diddy trial. I wonder how much. I mean, people went to New York for the summer. Some people were there for 6 weeks. Hotels, Airbnbs in the summer in Manhattan, when the price of lodging triples. I mean, they got to eat every day. It's not cheap to eat in New York. It's not cheap at all. Not at all. So how did they pay for it? Because I know they didn't do it with their YouTube channels. I know they didn't do it with their YouTube channels. How did they pay for all of their accommodations? How? And meanwhile, the court transcripts that cost a good little bit of money, none of them had to pay for, because someone from Diddy's legal team was sharing it with the correspondent from TMZ that was handing them everything that they wanted them to run with in all of their so-called reporting. Like I said, it's like watching a football team play. It's wild. So we just wanted to come and just, I mean, we kind of touched over this, or should I say I kind of touched over it the other day, but me and Odell wanted to sit down and just have a more in-depth conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
As we're lining things up and as things are coming more into view. You know, we're here because we see the harm in disinformation. We see the harm in propaganda. And we want to be able to give real people, everyday people, a fighting chance to be able to spot the difference between what's real and what's fake. Because, man, in this day and age, you know, someone had asked earlier in the comments, how much is AI going to play a factor in new media? Man, I can't. The AI channels that they had, and this is the thing. Now we got this David case. Like, they had already had the AI channels working, talking about he was being framed, saying that he was on tour. They were already trying to alibi him before we knew it was a 14-year-old girl that was found in the trunk of that car. Do you remember when I started pulling that stuff up, Odell? When we started looking into it? And I'm like, they don't even know what's going on. And they already alibying this kid. 3 ways that you'll know that David is being framed. Being framed? All they said was that they found a dismembered corpse in his trunk. And that he was on tour. That's all we knew. And now, fast forward, you got the manager saying, I didn't think it was my responsibility. I didn't think I needed to call the police. I just wanted to get on tour. Like, this is crazy. He had a whole PR machine moving. I don't know. I guess they paid attention. But it's funny because somebody said that TMZ is working this David case just like they worked the Diddy case. Allegedly. Like, this is going to be wild. This is going to be wild. I wonder how involved new media is going to be in David's trial. But hey, only time will tell, I guess. From Diddy to David and all of the media in between. You got any final words before we get out of here?
Nope. In fact, I gotta get on and talk to some attorneys. 5 o'clock. Let me get on this real quick. I gotta talk to some attorneys. No, that's you already know. I gotta get a whole bunch of stuff taken care of. But this new media thing is an ongoing topic that we may need to just explore, talk about, expose. That's what time it is right now. People are waking up, they seeing what it really is. A bunch of cap, y'all. Bunch of people be out here just capping. And yeah, I think our audience is smart enough to peep the game. So, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Indeed. Well, on that note, I'm Jaguar, right? And this is Wolfgang Amadeus. And how we closing it out?
Like this.